Rangers shut out the Tampa Bay Lightning 4-0. And that is mainly thanks to Mika Zibanejad getting his 8th career hat trick and Igor Shesterkin with the shutout, recording 38 saves, stopping all 38 shots that he faced. And this was a big surprise for me in the fact that the Rangers basically, they were without Artemi Panarin. He was out, COVID protocol. He was out. To a lesser degree, Patrick Nemeth was surprisingly out as well. They didn't disclose exactly the reason. They said it was a personal issue. So I don't think it's COVID. He had been in the COVID. Maybe it was, something that wasn't an injury, but also wasn't COVID related. So we'll see what his status is moving forward. But that leads to Zach Jones making his season debut on defense, and Tim Gettinger, replacing Panarin, making his season debut. Still no Lindgren, still no Kevin Rooney, and still no Jared Tenorti as well. I guess he becomes relevant in that situation because I guess he theoretically could have replaced Nemeth, but they're all out in COVID protocol. Georgiev returns as the backup, so he is back. And for Tampa, they did get back Vasilevsky. They did get back Cirelli. They did get back Chernak, who, when I spoke last episode, I wasn't sure if it was injury or COVID. That was COVID. So Tampa Bay really had basically close to the normal Tampa Bay Lightning lineup. They really did. I'm sure, besides maybe one or two players, this was a fully loaded Lightning squad, and the Rangers were, more than shorthanded. And the Rangers handled Tampa 4-0. And Mika Zibanejad really stepped up in Panarin's absence. And we saw that from Zibanejad in that Vegas game when Panarin was out a few weeks ago, where he is very streaky, as we know. And all of a sudden, the statistics are starting to come together. He is really one of the most streaky players in the National Hockey League. And he gets the hat trick. Chris Kreider gets 3 assists. Kreider, all of a sudden, who's known as a goal scorer, he's been getting assists all lately. And the Rangers really played a good game, and surprisingly, they really performed well in the first period. The first period has been usually those are low scoring periods for the Rangers. They don't give up too many goals in the first, but they don't score that many either. That's definitely the period in which I feel like they've struggled the most. And this was an afternoon start, early start, and they really were great from puck drop. They really, really were. The first period was a very strong one for the Rangers, even though they did give up a lot of shots, but they weren't really of high quality, in my opinion. Like Shesterkin, it was a great shutout. He made a lot of great saves, but I don't know. It didn't feel like Tampa Bay really had amazing opportunities. And the real key here is that the Rangers' special teams has been spectacular. Rangers 5-on-5, like I've said, it leaves a lot to be desired, from an offensive perspective. Generating goals, even strength, has been a challenge. The Rangers, in goal prevention in general, have been really good. The Rangers, I believe, in terms of goals against per game, I think they're top 5 in the NHL, which is awfully impressive. But the Rangers' specialty teams have been brilliant. Power play and penalty kill. And so what happens is Sergachev hooks Gauthier, and right away, 20 seconds in, it's a Zibanejad goal, his first of the game, from Fox and Kreider to give the Rangers a 1-0 lead. Then, coincidental penalties, Strome and Ruda. So it's 4-on-4. And then in the midst of that 4-on-4, Zibanejad is high stick by Stamkos, leading to a 4-on-3. And very soon thereafter, a face-off win, and same combination. Zibanejad, who we're going to thank old pal Ryan McDonough, as it went off of McDonough's stick, as Zibanejad was trying to pass it to, I believe, to Kreider in front. But it's the second goal for Zibanejad, another assist to Fox, another assist to Kreider, gives the Rangers a 2-0 lead, and then you get an even strength goal. To cap it off in the first, it's Ryan Strome with the goal. Really nice shot by Strome. And an assist to Barclay Goodrow. So Goodrow, against his former team, gets an assist. And in terms of line juggling. So that makes it 3-0 Rangers, by the way. And that was a lead that they would keep. Strome did take a slashing penalty. It does annoy me when Strome takes those stick infraction penalties, but the Rangers did kill it off. But in terms of the lines, you kept, of course, the Kreider, Zibanejad, Kakko line, but the second line became Lafreniere with Strome and Goodrow. And the third line was Hunt, centered by Hedel centering Hunt and Gauthier. And the fourth line was McKegg centering Gettinger and Reeves. And interestingly enough, that fourth line, they got a lot of minutes, believe it or not. I mean, I guess because of the lopsided nature of the game, the score being what it was, that line got a lot of play. McKegg, Gettinger, and Reeves. But it worked well. Lafreniere, he played pretty well, got a lot of minutes. And it seemed to work pretty well with Strome and Goodrow. So, we'll see. I don't expect Panarin to be back super soon. So I think they'll stick with that. And then defensively, Hayek was back with Fox. Really, Miller and Trouba played a lot. They, in essence, were like the number one pair. And Hayek and Fox was I guess, the number two. They were. And then the number three pair was Zach Jones and Nils Lundkvist. So two rookies. But it worked out. They played matchups and it worked out. So then in the second, it would be a goal, a hat trick. And in the second period, Tampa Bay's game improved, I felt, but the Rangers, still stuck with it. And Mika Zibanejad gets the hat trick. It's Zibanejad's 11th of the season, and Kreider gets his 11th assist of the season. So 3 assists on the game for Kreider, like I'd said previously. 3 goals for Zibanejad. Hats come on the ice. There was discretion as to whether there might have been, I think it was a potential high stick situation, not when Zibanejad scored, but earlier in the play. But it was upheld. Tampa challenged it, and thus Tampa Bay was called for a delay of game penalty for a failed challenge. Rangers wouldn't score on that power play, but that was basically it. In the third period, Jacob Trouba took a penalty, but no worse for wear. And just a comfortable, really impressive 4-0 win for the New York Rangers, where the top guys really stepped up. But it was a group effort. It really was. It was the depth. Got some good minutes. They really did. And so the Rangers win it 4-0 against the defending 2-time Stanley Cup champ Tampa Bay Lightning team, who they just beat the other night. And with no Panarin, it is full marks to the New York Rangers. Now it's going to be a back-to-back situation. Rangers versus a struggling Oilers team. And look, I was pessimistic about this Ranger Lightning game, and it worked out, so maybe I'll be wrong. But I think, it's going to be a hungry Oilers team who did beat the Rangers in a very wild affair where McDavid had that crazy goal against Georgiev, who I suspect, if I had to guess, I think Georgiev's going to be a net against the Oilers. That's the hunch that I have. Like I said, as far as who comes back or doesn't, I don't expect Panarin to be back. Nemeth, we don't know what the situation is, so I guess that could go either way, although with it just being a day after, I kind of feel like he'll be out. The one who I think maybe could get out of protocol is maybe Ryan Lindgren, which would be really helpful against a strong Edmonton team. I'm hopeful that maybe he'll somehow be back. He would be next in line, so that would be nice. And so this should be an interesting game. An Oilers team that, they lost in overtime to the Devils. They lost in overtime to the Islanders. So I'd expect a pretty good game. And again, the Oilers beat the Rangers in overtime in Edmonton. So can the Rangers continue this strong play? We'll see. It won't be easy. Oilers are a little bit more rested. But this will be, I hope for the Rangers' sake, this is the last game before a pretty long West Coast trip. This is the last game at the Garden for a while. So hopefully they can channel that and use that as further motivation, to sort of finish off, not a homestand because they've been, they were in Florida. It's just a couple of home games, but before they leave for a bit, hopefully they can end it off on a good note. And it's, again, in a strong Eastern Conference, all these wins are vital. You can't take anything for granted, and all these wins are really important. I mean, really, 1 through 8 in the Eastern Conference is really, really good. And so, the Rangers need to keep on winning, and even when it seemed like it might get bad, they continue to do so. So really, this was a very good win for the team and quick turnaround as the Rangers will face Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, and the Edmonton Oilers before heading out west.